You're not doing this for the bank. You're doing this for the business owner.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I wanna be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today we're talking about Edmonton accounting firm business plan, executive summary, problem, and mission. So we're talking about business plan, the executive summary, and specifically the problem and mission section of the executive summary. I have Cole here with me again. So Cole, how are you finding pumping the content out through the door? It's a lot of work, is it?
Yeah. It's something you gotta do every day though if you want to be successful.
Yeah, one of the KPIs. How many words can you get up on the site, right? So the quote that we have here, Benjamin Franklin quote, and it says, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. The statistic that we have on this subject that we bring up is the survey that Palo Alto did. And they surveyed small business owners, and they found that small business owners were 50% more likely to grow their revenue if they completed a business plan. So 50% more likely to grow their revenue if they completed a business plan versus the owners who don't complete a business plan. And the story that we have here are business owners, they underestimate the value of having the problem, the vision, and the mission on the business plan. That's the problem, the vision, and the mission on the business plan. So Colt, what are the questions that these business owners should be asking when assembling this business plan?
Well, the first one would be, what is the executive summary section of the business plan?
So the executive summary, if you watch any other episodes in this series, is the most important section of the business plan. It's at the front of the business plan, and it basically summarizes the most important components of the business plan into one section. So again, it's right at the front, and it's all of the most important items in one spot of the business plan.
Will banks need to know the problem, vision, and mission of the business?
The banks, they don't need to know the problem, vision, and mission of the business. In fact, I'm sure they read our business plan sometimes, they look at that section, and they like the rest of the plan, they look at that and wonder, why the heck do we have the problem, vision, and mission of the business? You're not doing this for the bank. You're doing this for the business owner.
Then why do you believe it's important?
So I believe it's important because, when we're talking about a business, I used to not think that the problem, vision, and mission of the business is important, but those are the most critical fact of the business. What problem are we trying to solve? What's our vision? What's our strategy for the organization? What are we telling our employees to remember every single day? It's basically the essence of the business boiled down into 3 sentences. I mean, what could be more powerful than that? It doesn't take up a lot of room on the executive summary. It's going to keep the rest of the rest of the business plan itself focused on those objectives and that way of thinking. So I think it's important that it needs to be there. If you're trying to build something that's scalable, that you can actually bring on team members to help you on it, you need to be really clear on what the problem, the vision, and the mission for the business is.
Why do people buy things?
People buy things for generally only one reason, and it's to solve a problem. They buy things to solve a problem. They hire an accountant because they want help on the filings. They don't know how to do it themselves. They hire a contractor because they don't know how to rewire their house and they're worried it's going to burn down. And they hire a plumber because they have a flood. And you might say, well, there's other things. People buy things for fun too. Is like, why do they buy a Rolex watch? Because the problem is they don't think they look cool enough, so they buy the Rolex watch because they think it's going to solve the problem and make him looking cool. It really always boils down to a problem. Any purchasing decision, it's to solve a problem. So be really clear on what problem you are solving for your customers with your business. That's step one. It's the only reason why people buy things.
Why do people buy $87,000 Ford Raptors?
Because they want a giant moving billboard to promote the YouTube channel and businesses for sale in Edmonton. That's why. I had a problem. We wanted to promote it, and that's why that's the problem we're trying to solve.
Should your problem, vision, and mission be short or long?
They all should be long. They all should be short, to the point, 1 sentences. If they're too long, nobody reads them. Nobody cares about them. Nobody's wondering if you should win a Pulitzer Prize on being the best writer. That's not what this is about. This is not an English test. No one's grading you on it. How memorable is it? And if it's too long, it just will not be memorable. not even the business owner is going to remember them. A lot of times we get business owners in there and say, yeah, I've written down my problem and my vision and my mission. And I say, oh yeah, what is it? And they get that blank look of despair where they can't remember it themselves, but they think their employees are somehow going to remember it. It's got to be short, succinct, to the point, memorable.
What does a vision statement have that is not in the mission statement?
The vision statement is going to have basically a long-term, and I encourage it to be a long-term quantifiable goal. Our vision, the problem that we're solving at Spurrell & Associates is 50% of Canadian businesses go out of business in 5 years. The vision that we have is to help 1,000 businesses for 5 years or more. So extremely quantifiable, 1,000 businesses for 5 years or more. And it's a vision, it's a long-term goal. That's not a goal we can hit this year. And it's something that it's going to take us a while to get to, and something that we can measure our progression throughout time. So that vision, it basically has a long-term goal, something that you generally can't accomplish in the next year. And it's something that you can count, something you can quantify. That's what I would recommend putting in your vision statement, very succinctly.
Is the mission statement the most important thing for employees to remember?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're going to have policies and procedures and checklists and training that you're going to put people through. But someday, that employee, they're going to be deer in the headlights. And, they're going to be overwhelmed, or you're not going to have a policy or procedure. And they're going to have to make a decision. And they're going to have to make a professional judgment decision. And it boils down to that mission statement. Our mission statement is helping Canadian business beat the odds. So if you're confused, and if you're an employee, what can I do to help the business owner stay in business? What can I do to help them beat those odds? That's the one thing that they're going to remember. If all else fails, we don't have anything specific, it's almost like our decision-making criteria. Which decision should we go? Which path should we take that's most closely aligned to our mission? That's the one thing. If you can get any employee to remember, if you get them one sentence to remember throughout the whole day and apply that, it'd be the mission statement.
Why should you think of your lowest level employee when writing down a mission?
So, occasionally business owners, they're very sophisticated, but they have to remember that sometimes their employees aren't as sophisticated, or maybe they're very sophisticated, but it's not in a literary fashion. So it's got to be, that mission statement has got to be something that your lowest level employee, not that's just they can understand, something that they can memorize, and something that they can apply every single day. So I always tell people, someday you're going to be big enough to have someone making minimum wage, stocking shelves somewhere in your business. What is that mission statement that you could give them that they could memorize? And like I said, if it's too complex, they're not going to remember it at all. So think of that lowest level employee in your organization, and what is that mission statement that would be, A, that they can memorize, and B, that would be practical for them to use each and every day to guide them on any decisions where there's some uncertainty.
How often should you communicate the mission to employees?
Every single day, as much as humanly possible. I don't know if anyone can see it. We have the mission statement is written on every single whiteboard. You can't escape it. You have to communicate it more than you think you should, because there's so much things going on in the business. Employees have time pressures, on work projects. They have, roles that change, and they have their personal lives too that are affecting their decision making. It's almost on the business owner. It's on you as a business owner to make sure you get that mission statement in front of them, rather than tell them once on their first day and expect that they remember it forever. Because you got to remember, you're almost sometimes giving them advice that can seem conflicting. You give them a training session here and a checklist there, and just remember, the consistent message is always that mission. And almost how you deploy that checklist or that template, it should be consistent with that mission. So it's something that should be, it almost can't be over communicated, and it might seem strange, but you want to write it down everywhere in your office. You want to go over it in staff training meetings. You want to relate it back if you're doing a high level technical training program, in the application of how you're going to roll it out to customers. Well, how does it tie into the mission? What's consistent with the mission?
Do most businesses look at the desire for profit and mission backwards?
Yeah, I do think that's it takes a while. Most business owners, why do you do what you do? You do what you do to make money. Well, do we help businesses to make money, or would it be better off of us thinking we make money so we can help more businesses? We can't operate at a loss. That's not how it works, and that's not how any business can work. Eventually you just won't be able to accomplish your mission. So, but if you can rearrange the thinking in your business, so you're actually thinking about the making a profit as a means to accomplishing your mission, it's amazing how customers start to get on board with that. And they realize that there's something bigger going on here. Not just the customers, but the people working in the business. I always tell the people working here now, it's we make money so we can help more business owners. Rather than when I started out, I thought you help business owners so you can make some money. But if you can switch that thinking around, now you got something that you can probably scale, and the profit is almost it's a byproduct of that. So I think that's what we have here today on business plan, the executive summary, and specifically the problem and vision and mission statement in the executive summary of a business plan. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please leave us some comments below so we can respond back to you and know what to address in future videos. And as always, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you videos on how to beat the odds at business. Thanks very much.